What's going on, guys? Ater here with Horizon Hobby again, and as you can see, spring is sprung. It's starting to get warmer, so hey, let's go ahead and get some more tutorial videos with the MCPX BL2. So now that you've been flying for a while and you're practiced and confident with orientation as well as flips, both upright and inverted, just comfortable with those basic orientations, and you might want to start implementing rudder into your flip, so essentially getting towards your first Piro-Flips. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So in this video, we're going to be breaking it up into different parts. If you remember, whenever we were covering flips, we were talking about dividing it into different parts, like 90-degree increments. So, 90 degrees inverted to from another 90 degrees, another 90 degrees up, and then full back to upright. So in this, we're going to be talking about doing the 90 degrees, but then with that, adding 180 degrees of rudder. And that depends on which way you're comfortable with. You can use opposite rudder depending on it. I'm gonna mostly be favoring left rudder, so like that, catching it, and so it's inverted, tail towards you. You're comfortable with that orientation just from practicing it. Flipping it back up another 180 degrees, level it off with 90 degrees of elevator. So that's what we're going to be breaking it up into today. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so getting our helicopter into the air, flipping into stunt mode now. As you can see, it's essentially full aerobatic. You can flip upside down if you want to. So starting off, let's go ahead and recap and do the 90-degree increments of a flip. So 90 degrees, you're inverted now. So, just comfortable with the orientation. Keep in mind, whenever you add the 180 degrees of rudder, your tail's actually going to be towards you. So you're going to have to get used to this orientation. If you give right, it's going to go right, left's going to be left. Back on the stick is actually going to be away from you, and forwards is going to be towards you. So it's going to be a little bit different than nose in. So getting back to the rest of the flip, 90 degrees up and then catching it to another 90 degrees, and you were stopped upright. So now we're going to talk about adding the 180 degrees of rudder. So just to start it off, you're going to do 90 degrees, 180 degrees of rudder, and catch it so it's upright and the tail is facing towards you. Now this is going to be hard because, let me flip it back over and start out. So whenever you give that 180 degrees, you want to make sure you stop it at the right moment. That's why it's best to do it in increments rather than, a fluid transition. Eventually, you will be comfortable into adding those increments of 90 degrees and then 180 degrees of rudder to make it more fluid, so it would look something like that. But for now, we're going to talk about just doing basic increments. So elevator, rudder, elevator again to catch it. And then same thing to come back. So give a little bit negative pitch to gain some altitude. Back elevator, 180 degrees of rudder, catch it again with elevator. So that's essentially what we're going to be practicing. Keep in mind, you can use opposite rudder if you want to. You can kind of mix it up doing these transitions. You don't have to keep the same rudder every single time. But like I said, just for simplicity, we're just going to stick to one side of rudder. So I'm just going to keep the left, spinning counterclockwise. So starting off, like I said, just give it the 90-degree increment. Make sure you have enough altitude, to catch it. So 90 degrees, 180, gonna catch it on the elevator. And what's nice about this helicopter too is you have safe mode. Go ahead and flip. It's gonna flip back for you, and you'll be back upright. So if you go too much elevator or too much rudder, too little rudder, too little elevator, you can always hit that panic button and it'll level itself out for you, and you're pretty much good to go. So, like I said, just practicing catching at 180 degrees, not stopping before, not stopping after. And eventually, it'll transition to where you can do it smoothly and somewhat getting to your first Piro-Flip. Now, it's more so of a half Piro-Flip, just kind of flipping off. You're basically doing a full 360-degree rotation with the rudder throughout the full maneuver. So as you can see, guys, these are really the building blocks of adding rudder into 3D maneuvers to make them more fluid, make them look better, rather than just kind of blocky transitions, just smoothing everything out. But yeah, we pretty much covered today going over basic increments of a half Piro-Flip and then somewhat going into that fluid transition. It's just something that takes a lot of time, something that you just got to work with. Simulator definitely helps too. But yeah, as for this, like as I said before, it's very forgiving. You know, you got the panic mode to, you know, it basically has your back in a sense, where if you're not comfortable with the orientation that you're in while practicing this maneuver. But yeah guys, that's essentially it for this video. Stay tuned, we'll definitely be getting into more advanced maneuvers. Right now we're just kind of covering the fundamentals, especially adding rudder into maneuvers. It's going to be a big transition into learning 3D. Be sure to check out the videos leading up to this one and stay tuned for some more videos in the future. I'll see you guys soon and have a good one.